down him.
All right, Yasser Khan, we welcome you to Eternal Football Talk, the weekly show, along with Fantasy Football Show, which is a day after the weekly show. We're still waiting for the rest of the panel members to come on. I'll ask you the question, I'll fire on. Arsenal, I was looking at earlier, they're looking at a player called Pedro Neto. What do you got? What you got about that information on that?
Well, from the news that was coming out today on Twitter, from reliable sources, they were saying that Arteta do have been monitoring this this player for now over a month, because they were saying there's a mystery winger, which no one was sure who the mystery winger was because they've kept it quiet. Obviously, this summer Arsenal have gone about doing their business silently, so this was another position they were targeting. So today it's come out that Pedro Neto of Wolves, who can play right and left, they've been linked with him, but at the moment it's just a concrete link. No offer has been made yet, but they've also want to pay about 30 million. However, Wolves want at least 50 million for him. So he signed a contract in February, March time. So it's going to be a bit difficult to get him on a cheap price. So, but with Wolves recently buying two players in midfield, they might be willing to sell him if the price is right. But at the moment, Arsenal also need to sell Pepe, who's on their books, because he's on quite high wages, and other players who to fill some spaces and wages in the club.
What's the reason for going for Neto?
There's one not backup, but a squad depth for obviously Saka, who's been, as you know, been playing so many games. So if he gets injured, or even for swapping squad depth, we need that extra player. And with Neto playing in the Premier League, it's another, obviously, it would be another signing this summer, who obviously Arteta signed Jesus as well as Sancho, who both have got Premier League experience, and so they obviously know how the Premier League works, so it wouldn't be a problem. Same with this Neto, who signed for Wolves in 2019, and he's been playing quite. He was Player of the Year in season 20 and 21. Even though last season he was out injured most of the season, but he still came back and did quite well. But we'll see if actually Wolves let him go, or whether they want a high fee for him.
Transfer window 10 days. What's the chances of Arteta signing him?
Well, if he can get rid of Pepe, which is at the moment quite a good chance, because today they were saying talks with Lille has progressed. If they can get rid of him and a few other players they've got on the books, then the chances are high, because Arteta on Friday in his press even after the game, he said they're still looking in the market to buy someone, but they don't just want to get anyone just to fill the squad. It has to be a proven player, and someone who can do well in the squad. And now, obviously, today after the news coming out for the Wolves winger, if obviously they can get people off their books, then I think Neto of Wolves will be, I think, the next mystery winger who they're after, as long as if it be agreed with Wolves. But I think they have got other targets as well. But at the moment, Neto seems to be the main target.
Okay. Arsenal game week 3. It was a brilliant game. I'm sure you must have saw it too.
Yep.
You want to comment on the backdrop of the last 2 games too? I mean, they're on fire, aren't they?
Well, they started brilliant, which obviously helped them progress the whole game. But at the moment, the way they're playing just seems fantastic. But credit obviously goes to Arteta, who pre-planned his transfer quite early, and with the same squad in the summer pre-season, everything went according to plan, and added squad depth and added Premier League proven, which has obviously helped also. So we're doing well at the moment, obviously. But today, I think Odegaard, the club captain, who they appointed this summer, said they have to stay guarded because it's still early in the season. They've just got to take game by game and see how they go from there.
Your 2 new signings that came to the club, Jesus and what's his name?
Z-
Zinchenko.
yeah, Zinchenko, yeah.
What impact have they had on the club on the squad itself?
Well, they've brought like a new vibe into the club because obviously they just won the league with Man City. Experience. It's actually I don't know the way they play as well because it's allowed Xhaka to go more forward. Otherwise, previous season Xhaka's always had to stay in the middle. But if you watched last game against Bournemouth, even the last game before that, Zinchenko who plays as who Arteta's been playing as a left back at the moment. But sometimes in the game, if you watch, he drifts to the midfield, which allows Xhaka to move a bit more forward, and then Arsenal play as a back three with White helps out in the defence. So that's allowed in the midfield, allowed Xhaka to go more forward. And with Jesus, he's he's helped in attacking. He's helped Odegaard. He's helped Saka, Martielli with quick passes, and he's even holding the ball. He was part of the. He did one assist on the weekend where he took on. I think the first goal he took on a few players before Odegaard scored that first goal, and then the second one he was in it as well. Obviously, it got in the way with the Odegaard he scored, so it's looking quite good at the moment.
Touching on the defense of Arsenal from last season, or even the seasons all before, from Emery's time up to now, well, up to last season, and then these three games. What do you see the difference? I mean, what has changed? What do you think? What's happened? I mean, do you think there's a massive difference?
I, I think with Sibera coming back from Marseille on his loan experience, that's helped massively. I know a lot of think I think I must have criticised Arteta as well. A lot of fans online have criticised Arteta for not bringing him back earlier and why they loaned him out. They spent so much money on him, but he hadn't even played one Premier League game for Arsenal. But that's helped a lot. Him playing in France, experiencing a full season playing in another club, that's transformed their defence totally. He's been one of their star defenders, and obviously with White and Gabriel playing in defence whole last season, which they did quite well. Even though they didn't make the top four, that's helped a lot. And bringing the new sign from Mancini Zinchenko in left back, that's helped a lot. Now with Tierney and Tomiyasu coming back from injury on the bench, that's even squad depth. That's a lot of teams at the moment. To be a top team, you need to have squad depth, especially on the bench when if a player gets injured or just to bring on. And even this week they said Arteta's been playing Tomiyasu as is a central defender, even though he's got that versatile player as a central defender as well as a left back and as well as a right back. But that just shows Arteta is now using some of these players to play in different positions, not just their main positions. So if needed in the game, they can switch formations.
Um, what's his name? Gabriel, your defense player.
Yeah,
Arteta after the match, after Bournemouth match, I was watching here, and on the pitch, Arteta went up to him and he says something to him. Obviously, I could understand what you're saying to him, but he was very happy with him and he was like hugging him and that. What do you
yeah,
think?
he's done quite well
What was
with
that about?
he's done quite well. So, so obviously they both haven't really played much, only in pre-season and in the league they've played. So they've been quite strong in the central partnership. But even last season, as you can see, he done fantastic. He was their best defender over White. He was one of the best defenders. So he's, as you can see, he's showing it even this season with Sabella playing with him as a central partner. But he was linked in the summer with Juventus. But obviously Juventus knew that that was gonna be a hard deal because also won't let someone who's part of their foundation moving forward. So it looks promising, but we're still early stages in the season, so anything can happen. As if one player gets injured, then it sometimes destroys the actual formation of the team. But we will see.
Saliba and his fantastic goal. What
Well,
do you think
yeah,
of that?
even that was just even the Zinchenko was. If you saw his reaction, even he was shocked by it. But I think that Arteta joked after the game saying about he practiced that in training, but then he said that was just a joke. But they know the quality he can bring into the squad, and after that goal, it's just a lot of people are just shocked by it.
Okay. And Martinelli. I mean,
Martielli,
he's showed some speed in his play.
yeah,
Um,
he's matured quite a lot. if you see when he first came, he was mostly on the bench. He was playing on the cup games, and even towards in the beginning of towards the beginning of the last season, he was in and out of the team. But then Arteta started bringing him in because I think against Newcastle when he came on, he scored that. Ever since he's just been progressing, he's just doing fantastic. He's been one of their best players by his speed. Is just next time he never stops. Even if he plays 90 minutes, he will run down the pitch the whole first minute to the 90th minute. He's just been fantastic. Just been fantastic since beginning of last season.
I mean, your Arsenal's front. I mean, compared to Liverpool, City, Tottenham, Chelsea. I mean, I don't want to be compared with them a lot, but compared to Liverpool and City, I mean, your front is fantastic. I mean, the speed, it's amazing. I mean, how quick they're on the ball and how they give trouble to the defense, to the opponents.
Yeah, it's well, obviously, as you know, the obviously Saka and Martinelli have been playing. They've been playing for Arsenal for a couple of seasons, so that's obviously that's helped Arteta, especially in the team. But I think this season they're just gonna be, I think, flying with obviously adding Jesus up front. It's just gonna be, I think it's one to watch. But they even said it in pre-season as well. This front three is gonna just blow the Premier teams away. But as you can see in the first three games, how Martinelli's been Jesus, Saka's been okay, even though he hasn't really scored or as much, but he's still shown his obviously the he's capable of doing. So I think as the season progresses, he will show what he's good at on the pitch. But as you got to understand, he played that most of the game from last season, so without any rest. So he's quite young at the moment as well. So
I noticed that Arteta kept the same in the starting 11, even in game week 3. Do you think going forward and keep the same? I mean, I personally believe that he should keep the same 11. What do you think?
yeah, he'll definitely keep the same 11 because
'Cause
obviously the team.
It's tried and tested, isn't it now?
Yeah, because it's a team. Yeah, but if you look at the preseason or if you look at the last two games against Everton and Chelsea, they played that same lineup. So Arteta knew which team he wanted, and he got that. So he thought, what's point wasting time of putting star players on the bench? He had his first team he knew he was gonna start in the Premier League, and it's worked. So he's carried on with that. Unless obviously one of the players get injured or it goes terribly wrong, then he'll have to change one or two players. But at the moment, he's got his team who's played the first three games. I think he's going to carry on with that until obviously if anything changes. But at the moment, with this first starting lineup, it doesn't look like any player's going to get replaced.
All right, coming to you, Mo. Chelsea, they lost to Leeds 3-0. Your defense was poor. I mean, even your front, not all that. Your midfield was terrible. What happened? What went wrong? I only had one red card.
To tell you the truth, I think, people, my personal opinion, I don't think they're gelling properly. What more can I say to you? He's still the right manager, but I don't think they haven't put the right players in. Personally, ask me. Now, the thing with Arsenal is that the reason one thing I like about them is the fact that because Arteta was what was he was a what was it Man City? I can't remember what he was again. Was he
Assistant manager.
assistant manager? That's it. Now, because he learned off the Man City manager now, yeah, and plus you got to remember he came from Barcelona as well. Learning his trade at Barcelona and then learning his trade at Man City with Pep Guardiola, I think that's helped him with Arsenal as well. And the good thing was that with Jesus and the left back that came from Man City as well, they knew how the style of play that Pep used to play, and Mikel Arteta probably wanted the same style as well, and because they brought that in with them as well, I think that's helped
Winning
him quite a lot.
mentality.
The mentality, basically, yeah.
But
So
I mean, Chelsea are not new to winning. I mean, they won the Champions League.
to tell you
So
the truth, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. You win the Champions League. I think that's just pure luck. 'Cause that's me being honest with you. I don't think they won that comfortably at all. Just like when do you remember when Chelsea won last time when what was his name when Torres scored against Barcelona? That was just pure luck as well. But yes, in football, luck does play a big part as well. But it's going to depend. We haven't got a recognised striker at all.
Yeah, but to be honest, there hasn't been any transfer strategy by the Chelsea board this summer since the new takeover. They haven't really had any plans or transfer strategy. It just seems to be.
I think personally, what they're doing is basically the new chairman. What he's doing is basically he's just bringing anyone and anyone.
Yeah, but I had
And
I saw a stat they've spent at least 40, 50 million on youngsters already. They've bought quite a few youngsters.
maybe they're for the future. Who knows?
I mean, what's the reason why Kai Havertz? I mean, he's not having a good time. He is trying his best. You can see it in him, but it's not the same like he was before.
Me personally, that whole Chelsea squad, he needs to take him away and make him train solid for a whole week to get up to fitness. Because I know for a fact, once they get up to fitness, then they'll be good. They'll be good. I reckon they're missing match practice. They are all of them are.
I think they're missing a lot of their teammates. The one that built that Chelsea the last season and the season before. I mean, everyone knows Chelsea's defense, man. It was phenomenal. People were.
Yeah, but I think what hasn't helped is the fact that we've had two defenders leave. One's gone to I think the both got Barcelona. One gone to Barcelona. I can't remember.
One's gone to Real Madrid. Rudiger's gone to Real Madrid. The other one's gone to.
That hasn't helped us. Rudiger was solid in defense. He was. Now, yes, I know we've got the new defender now from Napoli. He is good, but the thing, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Because it's only early season yet.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. We've got, is it 8 days, 9 days left till transfer window closes. We'll see what players they're bringing. I know we've been into Aubameyang. How good he's going to be, I ain't got a clue. Because you got to remember, he's not exactly a young, fit, healthy striker, meaning, he's hungry for success.
But to be honest, at Dortmund with that manager you got at the moment, to show his record with that manager was quite good at Dortmund. So that's why I think the manager wants him in.
I mean, Chelsea signed Raheem Sterling. Do you believe he's had any impact? I don't believe that he had any impact.
It's been 50-50.
If you compare it to the impact that Gabriel Jesus has had and Zinchenko's had compared to him, I mean, he's come from but you got to remember
one thing: Man City and Arsenal play the same style of football. There's not much difference.
It was Sterling last season. How many games did he start?
I think he started, was it about 10, 14 games or something?
He didn't really start that many games.
That's what I'm saying, it was only 10, 14 games.
And even against Real Madrid in the second leg of Champions League, he came on, I think, extra time, but he didn't really make much of an impact. So that shows you how much he was in Pep's plans, really. So obviously he had no choice.
But what was the reason for Chelsea going for him?
I don't know whether it was a panic buy. I ain't got a clue.
Because they didn't really need a winger, did they? I don't know if they even needed one.
No, we had a few already. We had who do we have? We already had
you got Pulisic and
Ziyech, and then we had we had from our youth system. What's his name?
Oh, Hudson-Odoi. No, Hudson-Odoi.
Hudson-Odoi. We had him. Didn't we have one more? I can't remember his name now.
Yeah, you had Lukaku.
Yeah,
but look, you got to remember Lukaku wasn't exactly. Lukaku was not built for the Premiership. I'll tell you straight. Like he flopped up Man United. He flopped up bloody Chelsea.
He in his first game for Inter, he scored within a minute, I think. Yeah, first minute.
There you go. But you got to remember, look, like they say, like the French league and the Italian league now, they're both like what they call it. They call it like a farmers league. That's what they are basically. Because you got to remember, Italian football is not what it used to be like 10, 15, 20 years ago.
That's same with even the Bundesliga and the French league, because PSG won 7-1 yesterday and Bayern won, I think, 7-1 or 8-1 yesterday as well.
Okay.
So obviously most of these big teams in these leagues, they're buying superstars, and the rest of the teams they haven't even got superstars playing for them. They've just got average players. So at least with the Premier League.
Yeah, but if you look at all the leagues across Europe now, whether it's Spanish, Italian, German, or Premiership, realistically, if you look back 10, 15, 20 years ago, there's not that many superstars anymore like there used to be, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
A lot is now obviously coming from the academy and building young players. That's what it's all about now.
Yeah, it's true, but the thing is, like, I remember when do you remember all those academy players that Chelsea had? They bought them when they were really young.
Yeah.
But the mistake I think Chelsea, I don't think the mistake, but I think therefore yes, he's played a few matches for us. They've been out on loan. Let's just profit from them now. I think if we kept all those players like people like De Bruyne, Salah, even Tammy Abraham, there's a few other players we had as well. Just let them go.
Yeah, but some of the players were playing under Mourinho, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but the problem is, with Mourinho, if it doesn't work, he'll get rid of you. It's as simple as that. If it doesn't work, that's it.
Yeah, but then if you look at these players now, look what they're playing at other clubs. They're playing really, really good. They are.
But that's football.
Yeah,
Sometimes
but
it's sometimes like that in football.
yes, it depends on the player and the playing style of the manager. So like De Bruyne didn't fit into Mourinho's style play, neither did Salah. So
There's
obviously
I think there's other players.
Klopp different. Like Lukaku, he plays well in Italy. It's different playing styles, and that's the problem. But I still think Sterling's gonna be a flop for you guys because to me, there's nothing real about him. You like only signed him because he only had 1 year left contract, and you give him City enough money to say yeah, go on. Because I reckon City would have let him go for free. Personally, if he was still here now, end of season, he would have left for free.
If you
The
were
best
Sterling
athlete you just say a favour.
Sterling on your left to start for a team because for the England World Cup squad, he's in the squad
Yeah,
anyway. And
but
he'll start.
exactly. So that's saying something then, isn't it? Sterling's not good enough to get in the City team. So if Sterling's not that good enough to get in the City team, Chelsea are going for him. City, of course, are going to accept the money and take him. He's got 1 year left contract. They weren't negotiating for a new contract.
I'm surprised he's Sterling starting ahead of Pulisic. To be honest, Pulisic did have a good start last season until he got injured and stuff. But
it's just that it's the money they pay for Sterling, and they have to play him in it. So if he's on a bench, then you spent 50 mil on a player on a bench.
Most of these Chelsea players which Chelsea have bought, in the fee itself has been such a high fee. They've what's that word? I wouldn't say flopped, but they haven't performed for the money that we paid for them. Like who are your perfect examples in the past? There was Shevchenko, there was Torres.
But they all weren't that good though, innit? If you think about it.
You recently saw Werner. You spent a lot of money, and he flopped there as well. He's gone back to his old club.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta remember, like when players come from different leagues, when they come to a new league, like Premiership is a very fast-paced league. Okay, and to be in this league, you gotta have strong legs. Do you understand? And you have a strong mind as well. The problem is nowadays is that like you watch tonight's match with Man United and Liverpool now. Look at Bruno Fernandes. No one even touched him, and he went down. Oh, my leg's broken. And then 2 minutes later, he gets up as nothing's happened. And I'm seeing that more regularly with other players as well, from other football teams. Compared to 15, 20 years ago, like if you look back in the days when Arsenal Invincibles or the United team back then, they were like proper men. They were, Roy Keane's your perfect example. Or
yeah, but the thing is, the rules have changed in it throughout the years. So like, something that's a red card now, like a 2-foot challenge, was allowed back then, innit? And you got to know it's different generations, and obviously now you got money involved in it. Most of it's money motivated. You tell me that every single player, like City players, they support City. They have their own individual team. They sport. It's all about, to me, it's all about money. To me, nowadays. Back then, obviously, you can't compare. You can't compare like players from the past to the ones present because they're two different generations. Like the players now, the old generation won't be able to compete against them because of the fast pace. If you look at the history, if you look at Premier League, it used to be slow. Now it's so fast. You're telling me all these lot in their prime, they're gonna catch these players? No, because now you got all these equipment, all about health, everything. They're all monitored. You know, they got to set standard, see what they eat. Back then, people used to have their beers and everything. So obviously, you got to weigh that option as well.
Yeah, back then, men were men.
Yeah, but obviously,
Boys are boys.
but that's same as Sterling. Look how many times he goes down. He's one of the examples that keeps going down for no reason.
Now, I don't know whether they've been trained by the manager to do that or whether that's their mentality. I'm not sure.
It's mix of both, innit? Sometimes the manager might tell him, if you get touched, go down. Also, don't make it obvious, but go down. That's
Yeah.
probably what Sterling's probably there to do because he's quick. But Sterling's finishing is the problem. His finishing's lackluster because as soon as he gets the ball, as soon as he got opportunity to try and go, he always flops it.
But I
He always
think,
flops it. That's what I'm saying. You lot flopped with Sterling.
Well, only time will tell now. We're still early. Well, 3 games we played so far.
But the thing is yeah, he's in. But I'm talking about Sterling in general. Like, how many years has he been in the Premier League? Almost 10 years now, and he's the same person, isn't it? He hasn't changed his game. He's still running on the wings. That's it. And that's the only issue. Like,
I don't know. Look, every player is different. Sometimes they fit into systems at certain clubs, and certain clubs they don't. Who knows? We'll see. Let the half season go past. We'll see then. I'm not going to say to him he's a bad player now just because he's been in 2-3 matches and that's it. We're going to give him a chance.
I'm not. No, I know giving a chance to Chelsea, but I'm just saying based off this City stint.
Yeah, but the problem is the whole Chelsea as overall they've not really started well, so you can't really just blame Sterling. But like Mobat said, it's still early doors, but we'll see how good of a signing Sterling becomes. And if the whole team's playing bad, what do you expect from Sterling?
The problem is the problem about Chelsea is there's too many new players keep coming in the transfer windows. It's ins and out. Like, you're not giving your time enough to gel. Like Arsenal, look at Arsenal. Look how many years Arteta's been there. He's got all the players to gel. Whereas Chelsea, you keep selling players, buying new players.
I think the problem that's happened at Chelsea is the fact that Chelsea don't have a you know what Edu is at Arsenal. He's a what's his job role again?
It's a director.
Director of football, isn't he? Now we haven't got director of football in Chelsea anymore. But since the new chairman's come in, he sacked that lady.
No, but the thing is, Chelsea, that Ted Burnley guy, your owner, he'd be talking to Tuchel on what players to buy. He's not going to be buying these random players for no reason. He's probably talking to Tuchel what players you want, and he's doing the negotiation straight with the clubs. So, but it's all down to Thomas Tuchel to get these players out of best.
Since when Chelsea had that takeover issue, because obviously all the issues they had with Abramovich, since then it just seems to go on a bit downhill. To be honest, even the summer obviously didn't go great for them. Obviously, the new manager came in. It didn't seem like had a plan with the transfer strategy. It just seemed like every other team that were linked with the player, Chelsea were linked with them as well. Obviously, there's still
problem,
still 8 days to go, so obviously anything can happen. And obviously
anything can happen, but problem is Chelsea with the money, but who they're linked to? They're not really linked to. They're linked to random players. Like I said in the last video, is all erratic. The transfer window.
I think they're working on 2 deals, which are obviously out in the media, which is definitely Forfan, who was left out on the weekend, as well as Aubameyang. And I think today they said
because the simple thing is, if you look at Chelsea and look at Barcelona, look how many links both the clubs were linked to. Same players, about 3 players they were linked to, but they all went to Barcelona. Why? Why would they go to a club where it's crumbling and take pay cuts rather than to come to Chelsea? Obviously, that must be saying something. You lot were so close. And to personally, I don't think you lot will get De Jong either, even though you're linked with him. You go to United or Barca. I can't see him going Chelsea.
The De Jong deal is it's complicated. It's still 8 days ago, but I think his first choice is to stay.
It is complicated, but it's only complicated because of Barcelona's wages that being ruined. But
Xavi wants him to stay, but obviously if he does end up leaving,
personally, long term, Chelsea is going to be a worry because all your leaders are getting old. If you look at it, Thiago Silva's only got 1 year left in his legs, and once he's gone, you got no leader at the back. Yeah, you got Koulibaly, but this is his first year. On top of that, obviously Kante is getting old. Jorginho, looks like they're going to try to get rid of him next year. And
I think
you might get Declan Rice, but the thing is, you keep getting new players.
Yeah, Declan Rice would have been a good signing for them. Declan Rice would have been a good signing.
The thing is, they can afford him, they can buy him, but they're not choosing to get him. I don't know what the reason is, but he's there available. But the thing is, because their midfield's so packed already, I think they need to let either Kante or Jorginho go, so that way they can bring.
No, but they've got other.
thingy.
They can get rid of other midfielders. They got that Loftus Cheek. I don't know why he's still playing. I think Barkley's still playing.
No, but Declan Rice, you need to look at the position. Declan Rice is CDM. Jorginho and Kante play CDM for Chelsea. Whereas
but even Kante, I think he's injured.
Said?
He's injured at the moment.
But we still got that Croatian. We still got that Croatian player as well.
Yeah, Kovacic. But the problem is all the players you mentioned, that they're all midfield or attacking midfielders. Like their job is not to do the defensive side, whereas Kante and Jorginho are same as Declan Rice. But the problem is, if you buy Declan Rice and Kante becomes fit, you're gonna pick Kante over Declan Rice any day of the week because Kante has proven it. Yeah, Declan Rice is young, but I'd rather at least you know what you're getting with Kante. Was Declan Rice, if he comes into this team, you know what you can expect. He might be a flop.
Yeah, but the good thing with Declan Rice is the fact that doesn't he play CDM and defense?
No, he doesn't. It depends, but his main role is CDM for England and for West Ham. You can't put someone in like defense and centre back if they're CDM because one, you're playing them out of position, you're not gonna get the best out of them playing in that position. If you wanted someone in defense, you might as well just go out by like right now you bought Koulibaly, yeah, he's 31. Long term, you can get 3 years out of him, but then you got to replace Silva. You got to get another defender. You're trying to get Koundé. He went to Barcelona, so you are quite. Just good thing about United got a stack full of defenders, but Chelsea they're looking very light in defense because a lot of your players are going, and the fact that you lot are going for Aubameyang shows how desperate you lot are for a striker. Because if you lot really want Aubameyang that bad, you lot could have gone last summer or last January for free, and now you lot are scrambling around. And personally, you're just gonna give him a pay rise, and that's what it is because he took a pay cut to go to Barcelona, and you're not gonna give him probably 350 grand a week again. And then he's probably just still do flop because for some reason at Chelsea, apart from Costa, you lot never had, and Drogba, you lot never had a proper.
No, I think if they get Aubameyang, I think he'll do well because of the manager and the players have got.
No, but even still, but Aubameyang, look at his form at the end of Arsenal's career.
Yeah, but that was a different situation because obviously Arteta fell out with him because of his behaviour.
Yeah, but. Yeah, exactly. So how do you not know that behaviour is not going to come involved again? How you know he's not going to piss off Tuchel?
That Chelsea Tuchel, he controlled him when he was at Dortmund because Tuchel even said that
that he's had no issue with that. How many years ago was that? Since he had no Premier League, he's been captain, he's been a leader, and
plus Tuchel's even said Chelsea managers even said he even speaks to him on a regular basis. So that shows
you can speak to him, but you're telling me Chelsea are going to let him come to training late. You're telling me Tuchel's allowed that.
That they weren't obviously. No club will allow that. Otherwise, you'll get fined and stuff. There's obviously consequences, but I think Chelsea will go after him. I think he will do good for them.
The thing is, you audition gave Barcelona money for free. You could have signed him in January if you needed that striker that bad.
Because I don't think Arsenal would have sold him to. I don't think they would have sold him to Chelsea anyway. But obviously they have the car.
But
they would have, bro.
Yeah,
they would have.
If you're looking world football at the moment, apart from the Haaland and Jesus, what other world-class strikers are at the moment who are available? There are none.
You have Nunes who's going to sing. You have Osimhen, but the problem is there are players there, but no one's interested in coming to Chelsea. That's the thing. That's the problem. No one's interested in coming. There's plenty of strikers there, man. You got Lewandowski to Barcelona.
Right. To be honest, there's not that many world-class strikers there. It's plus a lot of them. Their price tag
exactly,
is
but the problem is, but money's not an issue for Chelsea. Ted Berry's got the money.
Yeah, but that's
but there is an issue.
You can't just throw the money. You can't just throw the money.
I'll tell you why. I'll give you an example.
Why can't you? United are doing it now. United got 200 million out of the bank like that from Glazers out of the blue because we were playing shit. Now we just signed Casemiro for 60 mil. We're still trying to get De Jong. We're gonna get Andy for 100 mil in total. You're telling me that Tedbelly can't? He's a billionaire.
Yeah,
You can't
but
give him money.
yeah, but those players, the manager knows well because he's played with them. But Chelsea, they've known from past mistakes. Look, they've spent money on Lukaku, the other strikers, other players have spent. They've been flopping it.
Yeah, but
You can't just throw the
no,
money. You
but
have to get the right players.
yeah, but no. If you think about that Lukaku deal was part of the old regime. That's nothing to do with Ted Burley. If they spent 100 mil, that's not his 100 mil he spent. Exactly, he shipped him out on loan. He didn't care about Lukaku. He's getting 10 mil from him. He'll come back next season and probably sell him. Money is not going to be an issue with Chelsea. The problem is there's too many new players coming into the team. Look at Jurgen Klopp's team. Look at Pep's team. There's barely any change. They add 1 or 2 additions, but they don't change the whole team. The problem at Chelsea is you don't let, obviously Rudiger went, which was one of the keys, but you couldn't sign him a new contract because of your issue with the club at the time. Same with who left as well. A few people left. Christensen as well.
Yeah, Christian.
But the problem is there are strikers there available. It's just that Chelsea, obviously, whether the manager or what, either they don't want to come to the club or the manager's not looking at them. But there are plenty of strikers out there.
Nah, there's still 8 days in transfer. I think obviously Chelsea they'll still probably be active in the transfer. Obviously they'll get the players they need, but I'll just see who they end up
it's gonna be desperate. It's gonna be desperate signings at the end, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, that's normal. If you leave your transfer business towards the end, it's always going to be you ain't got choice. That's why it's good to do your business in the beginning, like Arsenal did and other clubs done. Because in the beginning,
Arsenal haven't done their business though. Arsenal haven't done. They've only signed 2 players. Arteta's saying that we still need more players, so their business ain't done
but
either.
the players that Arteta has signed already, the players he wanted. Now the players he's going to sign now are going to be squad depth to add on to the quality they got. The players he wanted in his team, he's got them now. But obviously, where they're getting rid of players that they've had from previous season to get up the wage bill. Now any players can get an extra will be squad depth. Players who can improve the squad. It's not. He even said it on the last game. He said we're still active in the transfer market, but we're not actually getting anyone just for the sake of it. That's why it's always good to do. Plus the Jesus,
not sign anyone.
Plus the Jesus signing. Plus the Jesus signing wasn't just done in the summer. They even said Ep2 and Arteta spent five months. Edu spent 5 months just to grab Jesus because Jesus in the summer could have went somewhere else. I think there was a lot of clubs after him, but Edu worked so hard on that transfer. It took 5 months just to get him. That shows you how much work went behind the scenes.
Personally, you know what it is? For Jesus to go to Arsenal is 2 reasons. One, Edu, and one because Arteta. Arteta worked with him before, and Edu's Brazilian, and so is Gabriel Jesus. That's the factor there. Whether it took you 5 weeks or 5 months.
Even Real Madrid towards the end, even Real Madrid were linked with him as well. But it was too late.
Could there also been the fact that they were going to give him that free time and you just go out there and play your football?
Yeah, that's what you see.
Whereas Pep had
the thing is,
the first 3 games, you see how if you compare when he was playing at City to now he's playing at Arsenal, it's a completely different player. I'm not saying I'm not saying in Man City he played good, but because Pep played with a different formation and style. But at Arsenal, Arteta's let him just. Arteta's given him free space, and he's.
My point is, could that not be the reason why he came to Arsenal?
Yeah,
that's probably the reason why he came, because both your strikers left the club, and there was an open position there, and he knew he would get game time day in day out. But saying that he's changed from being City, I don't think nothing's changed from his game. He still misses his shots. He's probably more clinical now. But
how many shots has he missed so far for Arsenal? The shots he's had
I've seen a few games where he's missed a few chances, but what I'm saying is, I see
any top quality striker, you can't expect the striker to score every shot he has.
No, but I'm saying that it's the same as Sterling.
Since he's come to Arsenal, his game's improved. He's been given more freedom.
But the only reason why his game improved is because he's getting more of the ball, whereas City he wasn't getting that much ball.
Even against Bournemouth towards the end, Arteta played him as a right and left winger because he brought the kettle on up front. So look, Arteta with Jesus, he's got that versatility. He can play him as an up front. He can play him as a winger if need to be. It's just more a different dimension to the Arsenal lineup.
But the problem is,
winger's not his main position. That will be when if we need to be, but it's more a different dimension into the squad.
Personally, I don't think Arsenal have enough depth for this season. That's just straight.
We'll come back to Arsenal, as I said, at the end to just round up the show. I want to quickly touch on Manchester United versus Liverpool. Something which I personally believe that Liverpool were gonna destroy Manchester United, and we saw something different from United today. Hats off to United for winning that match 2-1. Obviously, Liverpool have been poor from the very goal from the first game week 1, and they were absolutely poor today. I mean, disgustingly poor. I mean, that defense, I don't know what's happened to it. To me, the only person that was working on that pitch was Milner. Everyone else, honestly, what were they doing? They were asleep. I mean, you can't blame the front. They're not even getting the ball.
But Liverpool they've had a slow start to the season.
Yeah, okay. But there's no excuse.
I'm not saying it's an excuse.
This is a team that won the Premier League, who won the Champions League, who won the Carabao Cup last season, won the FA Cup last season. There's no.
I think they're struggling in midfield. Jamie Carragher just said on Sky Sports, if they can get someone in the transfer for the midfield, then they will. But obviously, even I think Klopp has said as well, it's a difficult market to find a midfielder. Plus, they've got.
I think with Liverpool, they were saying the fact that 9 first-team players are missing from that Liverpool squad, all due to injury. That's what
I
they
don't
said.
think so.
They got Thiago missing. Thiago missing, Keita missing.
The 9 first-team
Thiago
people.
Thiago was their playmaker.
Yeah, but even without Thiago, before Thiago came to the club, you lot still winning Champions Leagues.
That's true. That's right.
Liverpool still winning Champions League.
Yeah, but I think
and they won the Premier League. So like
the biggest
what I'm
miss
trying to say
is Mane. Mane's gone. The big main player.
Yeah, but they replaced that. They replaced him with Diaz or Nunes, whoever you want to put there. But Diaz, a fantastic player. He's the one who's even.
They're missing. They need another midfielder. Look, Thiago's injured now. Who have they got? If you look at their bench today, their bench was there's no one there on the bench.
Two players.
They need.
You know what it is?
They need experience in midfield. Look at James Milner. He's getting hitting his 40s towards the end of his 40s.
Yeah, but
he's doing a fantastic job. But you can't expect someone like Milner to every game to come and put a shift in. You can't expect it. It's the younger players who need to do it.
Yeah,
he's not supposed to be playing.
They had young players playing. The
problem is he's too young. You can't expect Elliot to do it.
But
you're saying that you're saying Miller's too old, and now you're saying
they need. Problem is,
there's experience in that whole team. The whole team is experienced. From top to bottom, all experienced winners. There's no excuses there. Even if you put one young kid in there, look for example, Cavalier when he came on, Liverpool actually played good. And he's young. And you're telling me that
I'm not giving no excuses for them. I believe personally, I think they were terrible. They were bad. And
but Klopp said they need a midfielder. They need a midfielder, but
if they need a midfielder, if they need a midfielder, then they should go out and get one. I think I don't think he has a budget for it. I don't think he has a budget.
Yeah, because
I reckon the owner no, but they've only spent what 60 mil on Nunes, rising to 80 if he hits his add-on.
But previous seasons they spent a lot of money. You've got to add that all up as well. It's not just about putting.
They haven't been spending that much. They haven't been spending that much. If you look at the time, they haven't been spending much. Okay, how much is Diaz? 35 mil. They ain't paying more than that.
And then obviously Van Dijk a few seasons ago they spent a lot of money.
That's 3 years ago. They made their money back from that. They got a Champions League final that year when they signed him. They won the Champions League next year. Then they won the Premier League next year.
But Liverpool are not in the City bracket. When I mean City bracket spending wise, they look rich, but they're not actually rich.
I'll throw this out there. You can't compare Liverpool with City in regard to depth. Yes or no?
No, you can't.
You can't.
That's what I mean.
Because the problem is Liverpool. They need.
But the problem is comes back to
all their players are old now.
I know. I've been saying this for quite a few seasons now. I mean, he's playing. I mean, it might be all the same old excuses, but seriously, now look, we're all humans. He's playing them nearly every season now. These same players. I mean, how much can Salah run continuously the way he's making them play all the time? One problem. My point is, has he not got to build a depth into that team, bring in more players?
Yeah, he has.
He needs to bring. He needs to. But the problem is, I don't think financially he has the backing for it because their owners, Liverpool owners, aren't the ones who like to spend a lot. Yes, they've got their recruitment all right, yeah. But the problem is with Liverpool, they sign 1-2 players in the transfer window. They need to add like 4 or 5 new
but
fresh
also
players
you
because
got to understand that same squad. They've been winning consistently the past 3, 4, 5 seasons with the same squad. You can't expect the same players to be. He needs to bring fresh ideas, fresh players to
That's
help
my
squad.
point. You need to like Pep says, he wanted a new challenge.
But then the
mean-
problem is, I don't think they ain't got the finance. They can't compete with teams like Man City with when it comes to
they
finance.
have the finance.
They can,
They have
no,
the
but they
money.
can. The
I
problem
think
is
they have the
can.
money. I mean,
No,
They
I don't
have
think
the
they
money.
have. Personally, I don't think they have. They probably can buy 1 or 2 expensive players,
Why?
but they're not like City. You can spend 200 million, 300 million. They ain't got the finance. That sort of
Yeah,
finance.
but
Why do you think they haven't?
who's saying
Why do
City
you think
spent
they?
200, 300
Yeah,
million?
but
City
why do
haven't
you
spent nothing.
why do you think they haven't
City's
bought a midfielder? They
Yeah,
haven't got the
but
finance
what?
to be spending that much money. Although they would have went and bought.
I
They would have went and bought that
think they got the
Dortmund.
finance there.
They would have went and bought that
The
Dortmund
money is
midfielder,
there.
Bellion. They were linked with
The
Bellion,
money
but they
is
can't
there.
afford it.
Why is the money not there? Okay, how much did they spend on Nunes? Let's say 70 mil at max. How much did they get from Mane for? How much did they sell Mane? About 40 mil.
Less than
Already,
that.
already the net spends 40 mil. Example, or 30 mil. You're telling me the owners have given him no money. The owners,
No, but
their money's
Bellion,
there. I
if
just
they bought
reckon
Bellion
that.
from Dortmund, he would have cost at least 100 million straight. He would have cost 100 million.
But who's gonna buy Who's gonna buy Bellingham now?
No, Liverpool.
No one's gonna buy him
Yeah, but
because it's
Liverpool
gonna
will
cost
link
too
with
much.
Yeah, that's the problem.
What I don't understand, how is it a team like Liverpool, who have been winning titles, small or big titles, all of a sudden are below Arsenal who in spending? What's going on?
Yeah, but the problem is
I just think it's just the
they're
owners,
struggling
isn't it?
They're struggling in midfield. Plus, like Mobat said, Mane was one of their star players.
Yeah, but why are they
Obviously-
not spending? Why did not bringing someone on? Why did not buying players?
Yeah, but the problem is they've got to sell it. They've got to sell before they've got so many.
No, but
But the problem is you guys are saying to ask the question in regards to the depth squad compared to City. Now we know Liverpool doesn't have that, so I'm asking the question: if they don't have that depth squad, if he's just got that starting 11 and just 1 or 2
Yeah, but
players,
Mobat said they've got quite a lot of players injured at the moment. They have got quite a lot of players injured as well. You got to understand that.
It's not a lot though. It's not
yeah,
a lot
but
though.
what?
How many players are
Thiago.
injured?
Okay, who's injured? You got Thiago who's
Yeah,
injured. Nunes, he's got the red
One
card.
player.
Keita's injured.
Who?
Keita's injured.
Who else?
Was it Fabinho? Was Fabinho playing today?
Yeah, he
Fabinho's
came on.
playing
He
today.
came on.
Henderson.
He came.
He was playing.
He was playing. Did you not watch the match?
No,
Yeah, we
I
did.
was watching in and out.
But what I'm trying to say is, if midfield was such an area of concern, why did they let Mimino go? They sold Mimino.
What I don't understand is this, Ali, is
They got Chamberlain. I think Chamberlain's out. Yeah, Chamberlain's out injured at the moment as well for them.
yeah, but what I don't understand
Joe
is this,
Joe Matip is out as well.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
one
but
of the
after
he was one of
Fenso-
the key players actually, to be honest. But anyway,
The-
let's do what I don't understand is this. This was a time for Liverpool to be reigning, like City are reigning. And I don't understand why they're not spending, why they're not bringing in more players.
I think
That's the
is it,
thing.
Let me tell you what the players which are injured. Okay, you got Thiago, you got Diogo Jota, you got Joe Matip. Okay, Nunes is suspended. You got another player called, what's his name? Comin Keller or something his name is.
Oh, yeah, he's a goalie. He's that goalie, isn't it?
You got Curtis Jones, he's injured. You got Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's got thigh injury. Ibrahim Konate, he's injured. You got Calvin Ramsey, he's
Right.
injured.
That's right. Ibrahim was not a good one.
But the thing is, yeah, there's a reason why these players are getting injured because of the way that Klopp plays. He likes playing pressing football. Maybe players who are looking at the Liverpool team, maybe they don't want to do that extra run, because look how many players are always constantly. Jurgen Klopp's always complaining about injuries for the past seasons. Every time injuries. Why? Because of his style of football. It's so high pressed and so attacking, and he wants his team to have possession and run with the ball. Some of these players, they're probably thinking, we can't be able to do that. Like, we won't be able to do that. You get me? So, I think, you know what it is?
Liverpool have played 3 games now. They drew 2 games.
And lost one.
They lost against United. Where do we go? Where do they go from here?
Nah, they'll recover.
Do you believe they're gonna resurrect from this?
Yeah,
No,
it's
but
only early. It's early
no.
season. It's early doors.
No, but
I
it's not
understand
early
it's early,
season, though.
but come on,
It's not
man.
early.
Yeah, but it's like
It's
Man
not
United.
early.
just like Man
They,
just because
they
Man United
played
beat
Fulham.
Liverpool.
They played Crystal Palace.
Yeah, but Crystal Palace is a good,
But they
a
played
good
Crystal
side.
Palace at, but they
Okay,
played Crystal Palace
for
at home.
Fulham,
Crystal
they
Palace is a
should
good
have
side.
won.
But Fulham,
Fulham,
even
they should have
Fulham,
won.
you can't. But Fulham, you can't underestimate as well. They bought quite a good few players, and these teams,
Yeah,
these teams are because
but
these teams are
but
a lot of these. Some of these teams are actually improving as well. You can't just
yeah, but
you can't
this
just
Liverpool
obviously say
team
yeah.
is
See,
one of
you
the
win.
best in Europe, one of the best in the
Look
world.
at Man City. They've drawn against the Newcastle. No one expected that. They almost lost to them.
No,
So
but you would expect that
it's a
because
difficult league.
it's no, but you would expect that because it's at St James's Park. Look at
Even
that
Man,
Newcastle team is doing good, but your basis. I don't know why you're trying to back Liverpool cases, but the problem is Liverpool. There is no
no, but
time for them because look, the season's already
Liverpool been
started.
winning the last 3-4 seasons. Where were clubs like Man United, Arsenal, who I support, and all these other clubs? These other clubs have just started winning now. It's only early doors.
No,
Liverpool been winning the last
Liverpool.
3-4 seasons.
No, but yeah. So I was saying that the season's because the season already started. That's it. It's game over because Liverpool got to get the act together straight away. There's not enough time because even for United, they need to get the act straight away. Yes, we won today, but we need to
No,
we
but
need to keep winning.
Klopp just said, even though it sounds a bit wrong, he said Liverpool should have won the game.
Klopp is
Of
always
course,
with
I mean-
excuses, man.
Yeah. Listen, okay. You must be better managers here at the moment now, yeah, because obviously the managers are there to defend the players. But everyone was expecting Liverpool to win that match,
Yeah.
especially the way United were in the last two games.
Yeah,
And
But even United made the changes to they dropped Ronaldo
No,
as well as Maguire.
no, but if you're going form wise, Liverpool should have won this game because
But
Liverpool didn't
other-
lose two
but
games.
But Ali,
but
do you think Liverpool were in form? I mean, come on, man. They drew against Fulham. They drew
No,
against Palace.
but even still, they drew those games, yeah. But we lost against worse teams and hard defeats. We lost
Yeah.
4-0, then 2-1 at home. Like
yeah, but
Liverpool,
look, but look, on paper, Brighton, Brentford, Fulham's I think Crystal Palace is probably better than both Brighton and Brentford.
no, but it doesn't matter who you got because every team's gonna face each other anyway. But what I'm saying is, form wise, Liverpool would have been in better shape than United because United already lost at home, and there was so much pressure already from them. The United players had so much pressure on their shoulder to win this game. Liverpool should have, looking at that lineup, they should have won. Everyone, even I thought we were gonna have an 8-0 because I've spoke to a few United fans in Blackpool. They're like, yeah, we're gonna lose the weekend because it's Liverpool. Last season they smacked us 5-0.
Yeah, but obviously
We made changes,
the manager made bold changes, which is it paid off. So
no
no one really
expected.
expected to drop Maguire or Ronaldo. Even you said the other day that because he's a club captain, he'll keep Maguire. Look, he made a decision.
So
we'll have to see going forward what he does.
No, but you got to realize Ten Hag's a new manager, man. He's learning all this now. We all know that Maguire's shit. We all know that he's rubbish. He's been playing them because he's trying to give these players a chance. Now Maguire, he's found out that Maguire is one of the worst players. He's going to keep him on bench. He ain't going to look. Varane and Martinez was good at the back. Yes, Salah scored, but Salah goal was lucky to go in. But other than that, United were dominating them. United were actually pressing them. And I think it's just personal. I just think Liverpool just burnt out, and they need to get their season back on track as soon as possible. Because once you start, because right now they're about 7 points behind Arsenal, who are top. So if you're looking at that perspective, that 7 point gap that's a lot of points. And plus, you got the World Cup as well midway season, and on top of that, you got the transfer window the next month after that, and you got the Christmas period coming up as well, where it's got fixtures, cup games are coming in. You know what? These Premier League games, people should be winning now. Like even United, before the cup games and all this, and the World Cup comes in play. Because as soon as they come into play, the players are going to be more tired. That's why Arsenal don't have enough depth. You might think they have enough depth, but they don't have enough depth. Because, example, who's your other striker that you're going to have on if Jesus can't play?
You've got Nketiah.
Okay, without Martinez on the left wing, who you got?
He'll play Smith Rowe.
Okay, Smith Rowe, yeah. So you put Smith Rowe left
wing.
Right
we
wing.
got Vieira.
Right wing.
Vieira can play. Vieira can play on the left as well, right? He's
but I know these players can play in different positions, but I'm saying like you can't. So if you want 2 11s for a good team in the Premier League, we all know you need two starting 11s to win the
Yeah, but
Premier
not
League and to be
every
competing.
team has that. Not every team has
No,
that.
but all the good teams do have it. They have the first 11, and then they haven't. Their bench is strong enough to go into the first team as well. Look at City throughout the years.
Yeah, but
They had
did you
two
see?
first team
Did you see
players.
Arsenal's? Did you see Arsenal's team against Bournemouth? That was one of their strongest bench they've had in a long time.
No, but what I'm trying to say is there's not enough depth for
Plus,
you lot.
there's still 8 days in the transfer window. You really think Arteta do not look at? We still can strengthen. They are, but they're keeping their business quiet. No one knows who they're going
Yeah,
after.
but that's how everyone though. But what I'm saying is right now there's not enough depth in your Arsenal team to be competing because you're top of the league right now. You're playing
Arteta
good.
also knows he needs to get rid of players, which obviously he knows not in his plans. So they're focusing on that. Once
Yeah,
they've
but
done that,
how many players is he trying to get rid of?
There's
How
he's
many
trying to still get he still wants to get rid of there's talks with Bellerin trying to get his contract ended. There's Merlin while they're trying to get rid of Pepe. All those that would help reduce the wage bill, which gives more finance to buy more players.
Example, who was that right pick you said again? Sorry, that right back.
Vieira, Smith Rowe.
No, you're right back. You're right back. The one you try and get rid of.
Bellerin.
Bellerin, you can't really say that you need to get rid of him because he's not been playing for Arsenal for about 2 years.
No, but he wants to go. He wants to go back to where he was on loan last season.
Yeah, obviously. But the thing is, you can't count him as being impacted. He's not part of your first 11.
No, but if he's not in Arteta's plan, Arteta's not going to keep him. Why waste money on someone who's not going to play?
Yeah, but exactly.
He gets someone else in. So
yeah, you get rid of him, but then
Arteta
when you're getting rid of someone.
Arteta even said at the beginning of the season, their focus is outgoes at the moment. Once they got settled, they've planned out who they want in the whole summer. When they they've got players who they need to get out, they'll go. There's enough.
Yeah,
time.
but okay.
You really think all their signings were just done overnight? No, they were all pre-planned.
No, I'm not saying nothing. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're saying that Arsenal's focus now is to get outgoings. What if they can't offload these players and it gets to the end of the transfer window?
No, they will get rid of them because those players are not going to be. If they stay, those players won't play.
Okay.
You really think the players are going to stay if they're not going to play?
No, but okay. They'll get rid of Bellerin because if he's going to go back loan or back to where he came from and on loan, how you gonna get rid of Pepe? You tell me that because you don't pay.
He's Pepe's in France. He's going to go. He's going to go on loan. There was talks that Arsenal will have to pay some of his wages, but. Yeah,
exactly. So you're trying to say that you're trying to offload wages, but you lot are still paying the wages. Yeah, because
the majority of the wages will be paid by Lille. Some of them but they also can't sign a winger while they've still got Pepe's on the books, meaning still playing.
Why can't they?
If they get rid of if they get rid of him, then they can't because they've spent money on Jesus, Nature, and Vieira. So they have to get rid of Pepe. Pepe's still on a high wage.
You're telling me that your club doesn't have the funds for new players. Of course, you don't have funds.
It's squad numbers. They need to get rid of squad numbers. Players who are not playing on the plan. They need to get rid of that. Plus, it's a wage limit as well. You've got to realize all these rules, FIFA rules as well.
But your wages are no concern, man. Look at Commercial United's wages.
Pepe is a big money.
How much is he on? How much is he on?
Pepe's on around at least 150 a week.
150, yeah. We got Ronaldo on 500k a week. You're worried about 100k.
Yeah, but you can't compare Man United and Arsenal's wage. They're both wage structures completely different. Arsenal's wage structure is up 250 to 300 a week. Man United is more. So to Arsenal, 250 300 is a lot. To Man United, that's nothing. That's standard.
You compare
two different clubs.
Yeah, but your owners are rich. Your owners are rich. So there is no excuse, man. You got Kroenke's son involved. There's money there, man. You're trying to tell me there's no money. Last season, you were the biggest spenders. This year,
Arteta said they're not going to just spend money just for the sake of it. Only if they can get someone who can improve the squad. Why is he going to now go buy someone for the sake of it? Ruin the mentality of the squad. Just the mood in the squad.
So off that basis, where Arteta's saying that we're going to sign player that can go in the first team. At the moment, there's no one then, because you ain't linked to anyone. You focus on outgoings, and you're telling me that they're going to sign players who can improve the first squad.
BBC Sports report announced in talks. They're interested in that. Also, winger Neto. So they've obviously they've been trying to since 1 month. Andrew's been and Arteta's been looking into him. So there's talks with him, but at the moment they're trying to concentrate, trying to get rid of Pepe and a few other players before obviously they make an offer because They need to. No point trying to get someone else's when you still got players on the club squad. So,
No, but
but
that's the whole point.
that's something
But
to watch because 8 days to go in
yeah,
the
but
transfer.
that's the
Anything
but
can
that's the
happen.
whole point of bringing in players. You bring in players to remove the old players. You force them out, the rubbish players. You bring in new players, and then, like for example, City, they signed Alvarez last in January. He's came into this. They signed Haaland. That's two attackers. It's forced Sterling out of the club, and it's who else left City? You got Bernardo who's linked away, but I doubt he'll go. Zinchenko, yes, they got rid of him because they didn't need him anymore. They got Cancelo and Walker. That's what I'm trying to say to you, like they still need players to improve the squad. They can sign still players and force the old players out. Like example, um, Pepe, they need to sign an attacking midfield or someone that will say, look, that's the future. Look, they will sign a new player, and Adrian will tell him that there's no future for you at this club, so you might as well just leave. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Like United now, they signed Casemiro. One of Fred
Yeah,
or
but even
McTominay's
United, Ronaldo's future is still unclear. Don't know what's gonna happen about him, but they still
Yeah,
got
but
quite a few players.
Ronaldo's
I
future
tell
is unclear only because he's frustrated by the lack of signings. Now
no,
Glaze because of the
he wants to play. He wants to play in the Champions League. It's nothing about
don't
the
give
side.
me
That's
that
all.
crap, man.
That's
Don't
all
give me that crap about
propaganda.
Champions League football, man. Well, why is it Champions
Why is
League
he gonna
football?
Why is he gonna stay to play in Europa League? Which you tell me
Okay,
he wants to stay to play in Europa League? No chance.
no, why?
He wants to play at he wants to play at the biggest stage with players
Yeah, but
with Messi. He's not
if,
gonna play the Europa League. Europa League. What record is
please,
that?
please,
He's the whole preseason. Where was he? He was even Man United's preseason.
yeah, but
It was just all
wait,
it was just all rumors about him. Oh, he had who has a private reason, personal reason for a whole summer. That's just lies. These lies.
well, yeah, but no, how's that lies? How do you know the
That's
truth
just lies.
though? But how do you know the truth? Okay, example, say if his mum's got double, say his mum got cancer. You're telling me that's going to be lies. That's why he took that whole week off, or however long he needed his
Rumors.
family. Say if someone's,
Why
but
would his agent be looking for another club for him? His
yeah,
agent's
but
not stupid.
but you're not listening. You're just on attacking mode. You're not listening to me. I told you the reason why Ronaldo wants to leave is because of the lack of transfer we were doing at the time when he said that he wants to leave. We only signed
Yeah, but
Malacia.
Ronaldo can't dictate what he wants. He's not the board. He's just a player. No player. No player's bigger
No,
than the
but he
club.
can't.
He
According to
can't
you,
dictate.
no,
He
but
can't
according
dictate.
to you, yeah, but
He can't
according to
dictate.
you, he can.
He wants
Yeah, but
he
according
wants
to
to move to he wants to move to a
he
Champions League
doesn't want
club.
to move to Champions League football, man. Let me tell you the
No,
reason
but
why.
no one
He can't
wants him.
dictate
That's
it.
the problem.
Okay, no, it's not about no one wants him, man. You're telling me that he can't dictate.
Which
He can't dictate
other
it, but
club
he wants to Champions League
which other
football.
club except for Man United want it right now? Name me one club which wants him. Why
Chelsea
Munich have
want him.
rejected him? Chelsea don't want him. They said
You're telling me out of all the football clubs in the world, no one
Tuchel's
wants him.
rejected. Bayern rejected. No one wants him. Why are they gonna want someone like Ronaldo? They've got everyone's got the players they need.
Please,
Plus
please,
he's on big money. So
please.
why are they gonna break their wage structure just to get Ronaldo? What has he done at Man
Exactly.
United last season?
Bro,
Tell me what has he
you're not
done at Man United?
listening. You're not listening, bro.
What did Ronaldo do
Yeah, but
last
you're
season?
just chatting, bro. You're just chatting like a normal
What
Arsenal
did
player.
Ronaldo?
Listen
What
with
did
your
Ronaldo?
ears, bro. Listen with
No,
your
what did
ears.
Ronaldo do last season? Please provide me fact. What did
He
Ronaldo
scored
do
more
last season?
goals than all your attackers put together.
Yeah, but he had to score the goals. They had no other striker. They had no other striker. He had to score. Who else?
Yeah, but
And he was
how many
the
strikers do you
penalty
like?
taker.
They had no choice. He had to score. What did you think they brought him just to 5% on the
What do
bench?
you
He
mean
had
had
to
no
score.
choice?
He had to
Yeah,
score.
but that's his job. That's why we brought him in to score goals. It's not our fault that
He was
Aubameyang
doing
couldn't do it for you
the
lot
same
or
job he was doing
Lacazette.
at Juventus. That's the same job he's done at Man United. There's no difference. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
but
why they even
okay.
bought him. They should have
Okay,
just moved
listen.
forward. They should have just moved forward the squad they had. They had no reason to buy
Forget
Ronaldo.
about your
They could
Ronaldo
have went.
agenda, yeah.
They could have went.
Forget about your Ronaldo
No,
agenda.
they could have went
Okay,
out and bought.
you're just
They could have
jealous,
went out.
yeah, that
No,
he's
no.
locked.
They could have
You're
went
just
out and
jealous
bought
that
another Falcon
he's
striker.
ruined your
But
club.
instead they bought Ronaldo just for the brand. That's the truth.
Please,
It's
listen
for
to
the
this.
global brand. Otherwise, do you think Ronaldo be gone ages ago? They only bought him just back for the money. Do you think Glazer care about the football? No chance. They're just bringing the money.
Are you gonna listen? Are you gonna keep talking? Are you gonna keep talking? Are you gonna listen?
But his future needs to be sorted. Otherwise,
Okay, listen. Okay, no, listen.
Just because they beat Liverpool doesn't mean their season
Bro,
has
how many?
kicked off again.
Okay.
They still got problems in the squad.
Okay. Let's continue with this now. Yeah. Let's continue. United won today. It's a celebration for United fans.
Nah, but you know what it is.
But I want to say something.
I need to finish the Ronaldo talk because his facts are wrong. His facts are wrong.
No, we'll come back on that.
Okay. Let me draw just one point. Yeah, let me draw just one point. We were out of Champions League start of May. If Ronaldo wanted to leave, he would have said at the end of the season, I want to leave.
No,
He knew we had no Champions League football.
No,
he knew it.
Since the beginning of the summer transfer.
No, he didn't. Not beginning. It's not the beginning.
Yeah, it's beginning of the summer. He's been saying this.
No, he didn't.
He
said it after 2-3 weeks after.
His agent's been looking. How many clubs has he been linked with? Is he Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Chelsea? Who else?
If Ronaldo wanted to leave that bad, if Ronaldo wanted to leave this club that bad, he could have paid off his contract and left from free transfer.
Yeah, but
if he wanted to.
They wouldn't. You know, the actual board won't let him leave like that because, like I'm saying to you,
they
can do for business purposes, not for football reasons.
But it could be. It depends on what contract is signed. But anyway, I don't want to get into this now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to move on. This is something that's really old.
I think. I personally.
I think
he loves Ronaldo.
Now listen,
he knows so much details about Ronaldo more than me.
Since he made this move from Juventus, from Italy to fly over to Manchester, when Man United were worried he was going to Man City, they thought quickly, let's make a late move.
I'm telling you now, Ronaldo scored more goals than Jesus this season. I'm telling you that now.
I haven't said about if Ronaldo stays, then we'll see. Otherwise, at the moment,
at the moment he's benched anyway, Ronaldo. So anyway, let's continue. United won today. As for the celebration for the United fans, they must be going crazy on Twitter and whatnot, all the social sites. And so I was actually going through some of the sites, and I could see a lot of posts being made and whatnot, and the same things that you get with all these fans when they get so hyped up and that. But coming back to you, Ali, you obviously in the last episode you believed that Liverpool were gonna thrash or beat United, which we all did anyway. There's nothing to be hiding in that. But you was of the belief, and in fact you said that I want them to lose. You made that statement today. I want the United to lose and then get relegated. You said that in the last episode too. You want to get relegated so the Glazers can be out. Now, after today's win, do you still believe that?
Okay, so in regards to Glazers, I still want them out, regardless if we win or not. Because right now, all the Glazers are doing are just throwing money at the problem.
They had, I think they had
please,
placards today of Glazers.
Arsenal fan, please.
Glazers. I think
please,
10,000 I think Man United fans were protesting, but they still attended the game.
Please, take your fake Arsenal shirt and be quiet. Take your fake Arsenal shirt and be quiet. You're talking to me. He's not asking you, bro.
Let's let him speak for answer that question. Then we'll get you into this.
Didn't he I think last week's episode wanted them relegated?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm not doubting it. What I'm saying is,
on WhatsApp, he said, I want Man United to lose. He wanted them to be relegated. He said in the last episode. What my question is this: after today's win, 2-1, do you still believe that? You as a United fan, I remember in the last episode.
At the moment,
in the last episode, we had we had 4 United fans in the last episode. You was the only one on the episode who wanted them to lose or be relegated to the Championship. The third game today, they showed a different character and a different United squad. Whether it was just because of the pressure, I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out in the next game. But after today's game, do you still want them relegated to the Championship?
Relegation zone.
He's still relegated.
No. He's confused. He's one of those confused fans.
Because let me give you my reason. Let me give you my reason.
The comment was a moment of madness. He seems confused.
You need to let me speak, bro. Otherwise, it's not your show, bro.
You really think if Man United lost today, he would have been more vocal about his comment on last year than being relegated? Just because they won today, he's not vocal about it.
No, but you're not understanding.
Why has one game changed it? Why has one game changed it? Just because you beat Liverpool.
Are you gonna let me answer, or are you just gonna keep talking?
Talk. You're
throwing all these questions at me.
You haven't got an answer. You were
saying
something.
Let me answer.
Okay, let him answer.
Let me fucking answer, innit? You're fucking just yapping away like a dog, bro. Let me talk, innit? He's asked me the question, not you. You had your Arsenal time, bro. You relax with your top of the league. Yeah, you're not gonna win the league, so just shut up. Okay, listen, yeah. Right now, as the club, the only reason why I wanted the relegates because I wanted the Glazers out. Yes, we won today, but I still want them out. Yes, United will still. Obviously, they're not going to get relegated, but I want them relegated because I want the Glazers out. But you know, this performance here, if they keep this performance up here, then they'll be definitely in the top 6 contention. But the reason why I want them relegated is because they're picking the same crap players every time. So now, obviously, Ten has realised that these players can't be trusted. Some of them. Now he's bringing in new players. As long as we get the right players for the right managers.
You had this person that those players were there. My point was also last week was, if I remember making it, I can't remember it now, unless it was on WhatsApp for talking. You have to accept also that the players must take responsibility. You cannot just blame everything on the Glazers. Like today, the players took on responsibility. Now you're trying to now you try and say they might get number 6 now, this and that. Now you're trying to lean towards that
but the problem
away
is
from the relegation thing.
Yeah, but the problem is it's only one game. Yes, we played good today, but it's only one game. The consistency about the United squad, they'll play one game, good game, and then they'll flop the next 2-3. That's the problem about United. The first starting 11 is not to be trusted, especially that midfield. That midfield is still, if you play McTominay and Fred, it's still the same midfield that got outrun by every other club. If you look at the first 2 games we had, it's practically the same starting lineup as the last season. Now Ten Hag's realised that his new players, he can fit them into his system. We're going to get more players in, which I don't mind having new players in, but I still want the owners out, regardless of how much money they can spend, 300 million on these new players. But I just think it's all rushed with the transfer window because Ten Hag is the type of guy who wants to all the transfers in, and then he wants to work with them. You're telling me all of a sudden we were linked from Rabiot to Arnautovic. Now all of a sudden we're getting Casemiro, one of the world's best centre defensive midfielders. We're gonna get Anthony now for 100 mil when we could have gotten for 50 mil last few months back. The problem is it's all down to these players, man, because these players are known to throw the manager under the bus. Yes, they worked hard because Ten Hag told them last when we got thrashed last week. He made a comment on the day off and run another 13 kilometers each. Today we outrun our sprint rate than last week. It's all down to the players, man. And what I like today is Fernandes. If you watch Fernandes in the game today, he was leading the squad. He was the captain. He was leading the squad. If you looked at it, when Maguire plays, he doesn't know what to do. And the big help was Varane. When he came in, that world-class mentality showed through. That defense was rock solid. If you looked at the whole game,
these players, you had Varane playing in other matches in last season too and whatnot.
No, but the problem is he was playing with Maguire. Maguire, if you look at the game today, Ten Hag wants to play a high line. That's what we're playing today. Maguire cannot play a high line. He's too slow for that. The only position he plays good is when they play a deep line, like England do, like Leicester did.
Yeah, but
because he's got other players around him.
Maguire, fair enough. But the thing is, and what's that got to do with United being relegated? So why do you want, as a United fan, why do you want them relegated then? Because if you now recognize what the problem is,
my own basis is for them to get relegated to get the Glazers out. Because
the Glazer issue's been going for years though.
No, but
fans want the Glazers out for how many years now?
Yeah, but even today, you can hear in the city they'll sing Glazers out. Protesters outside. Yeah, but they got him there. Regardless win, loss, whoever we sign, we still want them out because end of the day, long term, yeah, we're winning short term, but long term, it's going to be the same repetitive stuff again.
So you're telling me that you're part of the many millions or thousands or whatever who want to be relegated?
No, the relegation.
Yes or no? Yes. I don't want no statements. Just yes or no. Are you part of the millions or the thousands?
I don't know if there's millions, but I don't know if there's millions, but
he's only
me at the moment.
Let me ask this question to you, Yasser.
Yeah.
You've seen how Arsenal won the last few seasons, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were terrible. And we had some of your Arsenal fans who come on YouTube, who are loyalists or fanatics, what you want to call them, who were saying Arteta out, who were gunning Arsenal, were gunning the Arsenal players and whatnot. But no, one question is this. Would you, as an Arsenal, seeing all that happened to Arsenal the last few seasons, would you have said the same thing? I want them relegated.
No, I wouldn't say
Arsenal.
well, if I wanted the owners out, I'd say the owners out, but I wouldn't say go relegated. What has the owners got to do with getting the club relegated? That's nothing to do with the club. For the club to get relegated, it's not
It
gonna mean the
is.
owners go. The owners will
It
stay
is.
there.
It is though.
There's no relationship with the club getting relegated and the
Okay.
owners staying or going.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
don't make
What
no
do you mean
sense.
there isn't? There is.
You really
Okay.
think
So
if the club
okay. Listen.
if the club gets relegated, do you think the owners will still stay there? The manager will have to go. They'll tell
Yeah,
the
but
manager to get
exactly.
sacked.
Exactly. So
Your
the manager will
your
get
common
sacked because
sense
the owners are in charge.
sense makes no sense.
No,
You're
but
taking your anger out of the owners, and when your club's relegated, there's no link into that.
But there is though, because the owners are the ones who are employing these people who are signing these players. If it's the players that need to take
The
responsibility,
problem
these
is the players need to
who
take
signed these players?
responsibility.
Okay, I've
Yeah,
got
but
a
who
question.
signed these players?
Okay, I've got a question.
Like the host has
I've-
said, the players need to take responsibility.
Okay, I've got a
Yeah,
question.
but who
Ali.
signed
I've
these
got-
rubbish players?
Okay, I've got a question. Manchester United get relegated the way you want them to be relegated. Let's just say they're relegated now. What is, and then Glazers come out, Glazers leave, you get new owners come in and whatnot. What is the guarantee now? Manchester United coming through back to Premier League. You could end up staying in Championship for the next 3, 4, 5 years. You could even be going down.
Yeah, we could be going down, but the thing is, if we get new owners come in, our structure already from the youth, even with some of the players, we'll still keep some of the players. Obviously, the big owners will leave, but the ones
But your
that
players,
still,
what your players leave? Because obviously they will demand the money what they were getting Premier League, but they wouldn't want to play there anymore. There's no Champions League. There's no all the other cups.
But
Listen,
if it's players that want money, they can leave the club right now. If they're coming in for money, we want players.
You're telling me Ronaldo will be happy to go play Championship?
Listen,
No.
any of the Man United hierarchy would not even be thinking about relegation. Do you think they'll be? They won't even sleep at night if they were thinking about relegation.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They'll be training. They'll be
I
out training
think
at
they were,
midnight.
mate. If you look at it, I think they were, mate. Because like I said, we were 20th of the league after 2 games.
It's only 2 games gone. You need to chill out.
No, but
the
listen,
season just started and
it's
you're
not
worried about relegation.
It's not. No, our season started back in June when the transfer window opened. Okay, we went from
Doesn't seem
linking
like
from. No, it does, mate. You're not listening. You don't even know nothing about United, bro. How is it that the Glazers are willing to open 200 million
tell
now?
me.
When our budget was 120 mil, yes, even with the De Jong transfer, all our budget was gone, and we were linked to Arnautovic and what's his name, Rabiot, for 10, 15 mil. All of a sudden now we've signed 70 mil Casemiro out of the blue, and now we're linked to
all these players at Man United have let go for free because they didn't sign a new contract. You really think Man United didn't know 6 months ago these players were going to go? So where was the transfer planning in that? You answer me that question.
Yeah.
You tell me all of a sudden
okay.
You tell me all of a sudden they thought, oh damn, we need some players now. It's
yeah, of course they do.
lack of leadership in the board. They knew
exactly.
6 months ago.
Okay, so
Lingard
who's the leader of the board?
leave.
Who's the leaders? Who's the leaders of the board?
You tell me, you're the Man United fan.
The Glazers are the leaders. They're the ones who show it. Richard Arnold and John Merton need to go because they are slacking. How long did it take? Okay, Ericsson took 3 weeks to sign him in the free transfer. Yeah, overnight we signed Casemiro. How is that possible? Even Ronaldo, overnight we signed him.
Yeah, I was surprised too at that.
Yeah, it takes 3-4 weeks to sign Ericsson. You're telling me that the reason United is a business.
Like with Casemiro,
United is a business.
Casemiro want to leave anyway. He said he wants to.
No, he didn't want to leave. You're telling me a Champions League winner who won the Champions League last year was going to lead that Real Madrid team. He wasn't going to leave the season. He only wanted to leave because he heard that United wanted him. And Real Madrid, we gave Real Madrid 70 million for 30 years.
Yeah, well, they're accepting. He's won the Champions League. He was going to stay. He wants a new challenge. He's 30 years old. Plus, he's going to get big money for it as well. Why is he going to stay at Real Madrid?
Yeah, but your base is saying that he wants.
Plus, they bought that French midfielder.
Your facts are wrong, bro. Your facts are wrong.
They've bought that French midfielder, so they've made their money.
Listen, you're telling me Casemiro wants to leave at the start of the window. No, he had no intention of leaving.
Anything can happen from start to end.
If he had intention of leaving the club, if he had intention of leaving Real Madrid, I'm sure more than Man United would be interested. Chelsea would have been interested. Bayern Munich would have been interested. Barcelona would have been interested. Paris, PSG would have been interested. All these big clubs would have been interested. The only reason why he's going because we offered such a good offer to Real Madrid that they couldn't refuse it, and they told and Casemiro and Angelo spoke to Casemiro, what do you want to do? Because to be honest, we want to keep you, but also we got this offer here. We're willing to accept it. It's up to you. He goes, yeah, he wants a new challenge. But otherwise, if he wanted to leave at the start of the season, he would have openly said it. And I guarantee we wouldn't have got him if he wanted to leave at the start of the season. That's a fact. We only got him because we paid silly money for him for 30 €. Yeah, he's world class, but I think we overspent on him. He's no more worth than 40 to 50 mil. We paid 70 million for him. But what I'm saying is the Glazers, they messed up. They knew they messed up. First 2 games, we were crap. There was hardly any new sign. We only 1-2 players in the new style line. It's not going to change the whole squad. Some players can't play the way Ten Hag wants to play, like Maguire, like Shaw. They can't play that. They can't play high line. They can't be trusted. Now Glazers are shitting it. They gave Ten Hag 200 million. They gave the Richard Arnold and John Mercer 200 million to go get signings done before the window closed, because they know the pressure from the fans. They're gonna get booted out. They're gonna get booted out. So now they're spending all this money to paper over the cracks. That's all it is. It's paper over cracks. They've always done it throughout the years. If you look back throughout the whole years, how many times have we done emergency signing just to paper over the cracks because we've been paying poor? Look how many times. You're telling me a well-run club would have had all these players signing now before the deadline? No, every club would want all their signs done before the preseason, so they can take them to the preseason, implement them into this playing style, then ready for the new season. No one does lastminute.com transfer windows unless it's not a well-run club, or if they've been linked up here for a long time that they've got to deal eventually done. But Casemiro was never in our plans 2 weeks ago. Last week we never spoke about Casemiro. I didn't even know we were in for Casemiro. None of us knew. All we knew he was a Real Madrid player. Now all of a sudden he's a Man United player. What the hell? You're telling me that's not a coincidence because of the Glazers? We didn't have 70 million to spend. We were linked to Rabiot, man, and Arnautovic for about 10 mil, 8 mil, and we got those rejected. And we couldn't afford Rabiot his wages because he wanted too much money, apparently. And then now all of a sudden we're paying 350 grand a week to Casemiro on a 4-year contract with an extra year on top of that add-on, and plus 70 mil on top of that for the transfer fee. That's no coincidence that the money's come out of nowhere. There's one reason why money come out of nowhere is because of Glazers. Glazers have got their money out finally and saw the problems that were happening. They saw social media, they saw all the comments. If you look at all the comments on their posts, it's Glazers out. It's all media, that's what it is, spin. So now you watch tomorrow, yeah? Watch tomorrow, the media gonna make this big news about may not be so good, yeah? And watch it all change. They're gonna try to persuade the fans, but the fans, they always want the Glazers out. I don't care if they spend 200 million on good players, as long as we get them out. Because at the end of the day, that's beneficial for us, because when a new owner comes in, he can just sort the hierarchy out and also implement the squad and that. But with United, even with the owners, they're trying to do what Barcelona do. They're trying to sell off 25% of our TV rights for extra money. What the hell for our stadium? 200 million for a stadium. These billionaires are that broke that they're trying to sell off, trying to get some money off of our TV rights. So that way they can keep money in. So that way they don't have to spend. Now they realize, shit, we're actually doing bad. Now we have to actually get our money out. That's what it is. They hardly ever come to a stadium. They're barely any at any of the games. They came to the first game of the season, one of the Glazers, but that's